Welcome. My name is Kwabena Darko. Welcome. I want to share with you the importance of financial education to you as an entrepreneur. The importance of financial education to you as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is a tough journey, and one of the things that most often will make it a bit, more relaxing as a journey is your financial education, your financial knowledge, your financial skill. Fortunately or unfortunately, most of us were not brought up in an environment where we were intentionally taught about finances, even for our personal finances, or for business, or for any other, endeavor. Therefore, when you start your business, those things will show. Your maturity with finances, your decisions, the results that you get with finances, they will show. Because if you are taught rightly, you will see that your decisions will reflect that. And if you're not taught, you will also see that your decisions reflect that. That's why when you go to the market, market women, market men will go to microfinance and they give them some kind of loan, and they say they pay them within 6 months. But by the time they finish paying the 6 months, they have actually paid double of the money that they were giving, and most of them will not even calculate it to detail. So you will be working for the microfinance company or the bank or the savings and loans company. Our financial decision is very critical, because sometimes you can get a contract, contractors mainly, they will get 10 million Ghana cedi contract. Then some bank will say, oh, let us give you credit line, or let us give you loan, and then we will stand it this way. Most of us will not even sit down to do the calculations well, because what we are looking at is just the sum, the contract sum. We have so much fixated on that. We believe that once the big contract is big, it means that sometimes some people do business, and because their sales are huge, they think that the sales means they are making profit. No. And so your financial decisions are very critical. The profit is so much different from the revenue. Some people can get 1 million revenue, and yet the profit is just 1%. And some people can get 100,000 revenue, but their profit is 80%. So the financial skill is that critical. I remember there was a time that we were dealing with some state institutions on taxes and Senate and those things. Those things you are not taught in school. And so if you don't come from an accounting background or business studies background, it's likely that until you start business, you may not even know them. And those of us who start a business without necessarily working so much in any organized environment, it becomes that difficult, because then you're going to learn everything one by one. So they say pay as you earn, income tax, direct tax, corporate tax. They will say that it's net contribution, first year, second year. You have to educate yourself with all those if you intend to grow your business. At least you have to understand it, even if you want to pick somebody to help you. And if you have a friend who is an accountant, ask questions, ask them. When you buy the newspaper, sometimes you see that they publish some of the financials of some companies, especially the banks. Don't just turn it, don't just rush through. Look, even if you don't understand it, look at some of the terms that they write in all those, the financial statements that they write. Go and just read them, just as if you are looking. Don't just rush to the sports section. Read them one by one, especially those of us without accounting backgrounds or without any financial education anywhere. Read them every day. Read them. By the time that you have read it for about 100 times, I'm sure you will start to become a bit more conversant with the terms that they use, because a lot of your ability to build the business to the next level will come from you as the entrepreneur, your understanding of money and the decisions that you're making, especially when you're building a business that is going to grow organically from within. Some people will build businesses, nobody knows where they make their money, but if you are going to be sincere with the processes and go through the stages one after the other, it's not going to be, the business is not going to grow bigger than your financial understanding or the critical financial decisions that you're making. So it's so critical that you have to learn them one after the other, read about them one after the other, go through the ratios. They are not that difficult. And even if they are difficult, ask somebody. Maybe your friend works with the government, the tax office or something. Ask them, VAT, what does that mean? Go through that. Ask it, because it's something that you need. It's critical to the business, the success of your business. The more you are learning these things, the more you are becoming informed, and the better the decisions that you will make. Most of us will get our business into a position. The business is growing. Then all of a sudden, just one decision brings everything down, because you are not using the right financial tools. Maybe you started to see some some excess, then you went to buy a nice car, or you went to buy another house, or start to build a house. Most of us, instead of us to pump the money back into the business and to grow it, you say, no, now that I've seen money, I'm tired of renting. Then you go and put money in a land, you lock the capital, the business starts to go down. Maybe you're even working with bank loan. Before you see it, you're in a difficult situation, and everything else is going down because of financial decisions. So financial decisions are so much important. The more you study them, the more you learn about them, the better. And the more you cannot structure your business if the financial decisions are weak. And some of us cannot even get anybody to come in to help, whether it's the bookkeeping or even the accounting itself, or maybe somebody even helping you with the taxes. Most of us don't want to get close to that at all, because we think they are difficult. Yes, some people have done this, and maybe they have very good people to help them. But if you don't have anybody, learn it. Get some young man, some young woman who can help you explain to them, explain those terms to you. They are important to you building a very good business. Financial education, financial skills, they're critical to you succeeding with your finances. Most people are just hoping that one day the business will explode. Most people are just hoping that one day their finances will change. Finances don't change like that. Even if you win lotto, or somebody else comes to give you a lot of money, for you to conserve that money and even grow it, you will need some level of expertise. So and you can't just hand everything to somebody to say that make all the decisions for me. No, you have to also have the basis right, and they are not that difficult. We just have to be told, we just have to be taught that this is it, this is what we have, and you can get the basis. So get some books, get some information, ask somebody, continue to ask the questions. The ratios that they use in our country in terms of the payee, understand them. Even if it's you that you pay, only yourself, that you put yourself on the tax, it will help you to understand it. Always start from where you are, small, where you are. If you want to grow a business, you must structure the finances well. You must write every revenue that you get from the business, and you must at least keep record of the expenses that go out of the business. Because without the right data gathering, you don't have anything to make a lot of your decisions on. And it starts with that. Even at the household, if you can keep track of what money goes out of the house, at least average monthly, how much do you spend at home on everything, on children's school fees, on the rent, on everything that you pay, and how much comes in to the house, maybe from salary or other things that you do. Being able to have full, maybe some grasp of what comes in and what goes out will help you a lot to make good decisions. The same with the business. Being able to have an idea of how much comes in every month and how much goes out of the business every month will help you. Sometimes you will know that, if I take this loan, how much is left at the end of the month when I do the income and when I do the expenditure. I will see that maybe I cannot survive with this loan. Maybe if I take money from this to buy this car, the next stage the business will struggle, because you have basic understanding of what is coming in and what is going out, basic understanding of whatever stock level that you have. Those things will help you. Even if you can't pick an accountant, they will help you. And if you go to a lot of these institutions, there is always somebody there who will be able to explain some of these basic things to you. Because if you don't educate yourself, when they print your your bank statement for you, don't look at it. Even if they confuse you, look at it. Somebody said something the other time, and it's so funny. He said that most people know the quotation in the Bible, but when they print their financial statement to them, or for them, they are not able to understand what they print for them to read. but they can quote all the scriptures with all the chapters and they are hoping that they'll become successful. It's very difficult to become successful in anything that you don't have knowledge in anything that you don't have skill in. Knowledge is to build skill, and then skill is to produce results. So without the right knowledge, you can have the right skills, and without the right skills, it's very difficult to get the right results, the right performance, the right productivity. So these are things that we all must learn. Business, they say, is difficult, we understand, but if your financial expertise, if your financial skill is at a certain level, you'll be able to make some of the and the financial discipline as well. Sometimes you can know everything, but the courage and the discipline to go through what you know is another level. And most of us, you put yourself in a position where you'll be able to make the most important decisions for the business to grow. If your business is not at that stage to build an office, don't build it. To buy another car, don't buy it. If the business is not at the stage to take that loan, don't take it. If the business is not at the stage to employ another person, don't employ it. You have to make sure that you have some level of grasp with the finances, because without that, all that you're doing and the thing about it is that when the financials are not good, everything else in the business, because then it creates pressure on you. You are always thinking. When you owe, your mind is always on the pressure from debt in business. Is there's no pressure that comes close to that when the business is collapsing and you owe a lot of people and you can't pay. And every minute somebody else is calling you, the bank is calling you, individuals are calling you for their money, and you have no idea when the next income is coming from. There is not much like that. Most people will go into depression because of debt in their businesses, non-payment of loans. So it's something that we really, and we don't have to go through that if you have the right skill set. If you have developed the right skill sets, you don't have to go through a lot of this. But if you have not, then you go through that. You go through those stages to wake you up.